All right, welcome on in everyone to another episode of First CSP, the channel dedicated to bringing you the first council shoulder patch issued from each council in Scouting America, both past and present. Today we're going to take a look at Grand Columbia 614 out of Washington. This council was originally formed in 1992 as the merger of Fort Simcoe Area 614 and North Central Washington 613. Got a couple of issues to take a look at. Head over to the patch table, and the first issue was the SA1, shown here presently, with the gold mylar border, bright blue and white sky, red fleur-de-lis, dark blue name for Grand Columbia Council, and red Washington. This patch was an activity issue specially created at the beginning of the council for the merger and was distributed only to the council executives and then youth that had entered a design contest for the first council shoulder patch. There's a great letter that documents that on the Gilwell First CSP website. Again, that's not associated with this YouTube channel, but it is a resource that we think is a great one for first CSPs. I will make sure that that is linked in the description of this video so you can go and see the letter where some people had inquired, where did this gold mylar CSP come from? And that verifies from the council the history of the first issue, this SA1. So this is the SA1 first issue for Grand Columbia. It was not widely distributed. It was only to youth that had entered the contest and then the council executives. We are pleased to be able to bring this one to you on the channel. And then we go into the first regular issue. Essentially takes that same patch design and then has it with a traditional red border. So the S2 first regular is red border, bright blue sky with white, red fleur-de-lis, dark blue name, red Washington, with specifically white clouds. They mention that in the description now because when I believe they did a reorder of the S2, they got what is now considered the S3, which is an error and has pink clouds. We'll actually we'll show that one to you here in just a second, but this is the first regular S2. And then we have one of the S3s here as well. You can see the S3s. Let's get our focus back a little bit, camera. There we go. So the S2s have the white clouds, and the S3s came back, unfortunately, with pink clouds. You will see a little bit of difference in the shade of the trees, get a little darker. It was a separate production run. So that is the S3. These are all plastic backed. And actually, because the pink is pretty subtle, although the pink clouds are different from the tips of the mountains, which are snow covered, this is definitely a white thread and this is a pink thread, whereas here you're getting white thread for the clouds and white thread for the snow covered mountains. It does though look as though, and I don't know if it's the directional difference between these because this is a horizontal and this is vertical, it looks like a different color white snow capping the mountains than it is for the clouds. And these are pretty subtle. It can be a little challenging just looking at one in a picture to note whether or not you've got a white clouds S2 or a pink clouds S3. I feel like sometimes you have to have them in person to really look at them. Again, you are going to see that there's a darker color brown in the S3 in the foreground. So you're going to see some of the color matching is slightly different because it's a later production run. I would almost say that this sun looks a little more gold. This looks a little more yellow. But again, in single patches by themselves, it might be a little difficult to tell whether or not you've got an S2, the first regular issue, or the S3 error with the pink clouds. All right, we'll take off the S3. We'll have our closing shot kind of comparing the first regular and the first issue SA1. And those are the first patches for Grand Columbia 614. Hopefully you found this informative and potentially entertaining. I want to thank everybody that's been tuning in to all of our episodes to check out the first CSPs from councils across Scouting America. And we're just getting started. We've got lots more to be able to share with you. New episodes out every single day. We do hope to see you back here tomorrow for another new episode. But until then, I want to thank you all for stopping by and have a great rest of your day.